Hey, welcome back to that God Power channel. This is the channel where we're going to unlock the God Power laying dormant on the inside of you. But first today, what we're going to do is continue breaking down the book of Genesis. We did chapter 48 last time, and now we're in chapter 49, and there's only two more chapters, 49 and 50, to finish the whole book of Genesis. So thank you everybody who's rocked with me this long and learned the story of Genesis. It's a pretty interesting story. Last time in chapter 48, we learned about when Jacob, he's on his deathbed, Israel. He's on his deathbed and he was talking to his grandkids and he claimed them as his. Now, in chapter 49, this is Jacob's last words to his sons. So Jacob is literally done for on this one. So this is it. His last words. So let's see what Jacob, has to say to his sons, the 12 sons that he has, which we learned last time is like the 12 tribes of Israel. So let's see. So then Jacob called together all his sons and said, "Gather around me, and I will tell you what will happen to each of you in the days to come." And they're like, "All right, bet. Let's see what's going to happen to us." Like, it sounds like some good news, maybe, right? He's like, "Come and listen, you sons of Jacob. Listen to Israel, your father. So Reuben, you are my firstborn, my strength, the child of my vigorous youth. You are first in rank and first in power. But you are as unruly as a flood, and you will be first no longer, for you went to bed with my wife. You defiled my marriage couch." That was his last words to Reuben. Reuben was probably like, in the first half, was like, "Yeah, my strength, the vigorous youth. Yeah, first in rank, you defiled my wife." Oh, I did do that. My bad, Dad. Simeon and Levi are two of a kind. Their weapons are instruments of violence. May I never join in their meetings. May I never be a party to their plans. For in their anger they murdered men, and they crippled oxen just for sport. A curse on their anger, for it is fierce. A curse on their wrath, for it is cruel. I will scatter them among the descendants of Jacob. I will disperse them throughout the Israel. So, Simeon and Levi also didn't get good news from Papa. One of the last words, it's kind of like a curse. Ah! What the heck? What the heck, Dad? So I bet you the other ones are like, "What the heck, Dad? Are we about to get cursed too?" But Judah, your brothers will praise you. You will grasp your enemies by the neck. All your relatives will bow before you. Judah, my son, is a young lion that has finished eating its prey. Like a lion, he crouches down and lies down. Like a lioness, who dares to rouse him? The scepter it's not scepter, I know it's spelled like that, but it's pronounced scepter. The scepter will not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from his descendants, until the coming of the one whom it belongs to, the one to whom all nations will honor. He ties his foal to a grapevine, the colt of his donkey to a choice vine. He washes his clothes in wine. His robes are in the blood of grapes. His eyes are darker than wine, and his teeth are whiter than milk. So he got a nice little paragraph for Judah. Judah got a whole sonnet for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got some pretty good words. Judah probably like, hey, looking at the other brothers, they got cursed, like. And then he said to Zebulun, "Will settle by the seashore and will be a harbor for ships. His borders will extend to Sidon." Zebulun just dapped up Judah. Is like, "Hey, bro, that's what's up." And the other two are like, "What?" Issachar is a sturdy donkey resting between two saddlepacks. When he sees how good the countryside is and how pleasant the land is, he will bend his shoulder to load and submit himself to hard labor. So he'll bend his shoulder to the load and submit himself to hard labor. Issachar's not that, I don't know. I don't really know. Issachar's like, I was going to work anyways, I guess. Thanks, Dad. And then Dan will govern his people like any other tribe in Israel. Dan will be a snake beside the road, a poisonous viper along the path that bites the horse's hoofs so its rider is thrown off. I trust in you for salvation, O Lord. Dan is probably like, thanks, Dad. I don't understand that one, but maybe Dan understood it more than I do. And Gad will be attacked by marauding bands, but he will attack them when they retreat. And Gad's like, I'm gonna do what? I say what? I do what? But Gad's probably ready for that, John. You know what I'm saying? Asher will dine on rich foods and produce food fit for kings. Asher's like, hey. He's probably the cook anyway, so it's probably nothing new. They didn't really talk about Asher through here at all. I mean, they mentioned his name, but they didn't talk about what he does and how he acts. But maybe he was already the cook, right? And that's why his dad's like, boy, you gonna cook for the kings. You know what I'm saying? Naphtali is a doe set free that bears beautiful fawns. Naphtali, I don't know what that means either. Maybe his seeds are going to be like mad attractive type deal. Like he just, every time he makes children, it just be like the perfect genes or whatever. Joseph is the foal of a wild donkey, the foal of a donkey at a spring. One of the wild donkeys on the ridge. Archers attacked him savagely. They shot at him and harassed him, but his bow remained taut and his arms were strengthened by the hands of the mighty one of Jacob, by the shepherd, the rock of Israel. May the God of your father help you. May the Almighty bless you with the blessings of the heavens above, with the blessings of the watery depths below, with the blessings of the breast and womb. May my fatherly blessings on you surpass the blessings of my ancestors, reaching to the heights of the eternal hills. May these blessings rest on the head of Joseph, who is a prince among his brothers. And Joseph probably already knew he was going to get some good words said about him. So, I mean, his brothers probably already expected that too, because he's there taking care of everybody right now anyways. So one thing to point out about that, though, is that it says, archers attacked him savagely. They shot at him and harassed him, but his bow remained taut and his arms were strengthened by the hands of the mighty one, Almighty One. So basically, this is the part where Joseph's brothers sold him into slavery. I think that's what that's referencing. It's because like the archers attacked him, you know what I'm saying, savagely, because I was savage, but he remained chill and he was strengthened. So I think that's what he's referencing there. Benjamin is a ravenous wolf, devouring his enemies in the morning and dividing his plunder in the evening. Benjamin probably is like, huh? I've never devoured anything. But he doesn't know that his strength is already there. These are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is what their father said as he told their sons goodbye. He blessed each one of them with the appropriate message. You know what I'm saying? Some of those blessings were curses. Then Jacob instructed them. He was like, soon I will die and join my ancestors. Bury me with my father and grandfather in the cave in the field of Ephron the Hittite. This is the cave in the field of Machpelah near Mamre in Canaan that Abraham bought from Ephron the Hittite as a permanent burial site. There, Abraham and his wife Sarah are buried. There, Isaac and his wife Rebekah are buried. There, I buried Leah. It is the plot of land in a cave with my grandfather Abraham bought from the Hittites. So he was basically saying, yo, look, I need you all to bury me in this one place, y'all. It's my last request. And when Jacob had finished this last charge to his sons, he drew his feet into the bed, breathed his last breath, and joined his ancestors in death. So that was the last thing that he told his sons, is the specific spot and why he wanted to be buried there. And this is because it goes back. Abraham was buried there with Sarah. Isaac was buried there with Rebekah. You know what I'm saying? So Jacob even buried his wife Leah there. So I think that he also wants to be buried there as well. And his sons heard him out. They received their blessings. And that's the end of chapter 49, y'all. We just lost a real one. Shout out to Jacob, man. So Israel, my bad. Israel. Shout out to Israel. But that's the end of chapter 49. Now, The next chapter is chapter 50, and we shall see what happens in chapter 50 to close this story off, right? Israel, our main character, is gone, but we still have another main character that's alive, which is Joseph. Joseph is still alive, okay? And his brothers that all got all those blessings, they're all still alive too. So we need to see what's going to happen at the end of this story, and we only got one more chapter to close it off before we skip ahead 400 years. So that's the end of chapter 49. Hope you liked it. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a beautiful day. And just remember that you got that God power. On your heart, tugging on your... Get them.